Today is January 5th, 2021. It's the fifth day of the year, but more importantly, today is the day that the runoff Senate elections are taking place in the state of Georgia. So, some of the results have already come in for these two elections, but the percentage of the total votes that have been reported so far is pretty small, and I honestly don't think that a winner will be declared for either one of these Senate races until sometime tomorrow. At the earliest, I think a winner will be declared for one or both of these Senate races sometime past midnight tonight. As I'm speaking right now, it's 6:33 p.m. Central Time, 7:33 p.m. Eastern Time, and the the votes have just started being reported so far. The number of votes that are in currently is pretty small. I believe it's less than 10% of the total votes that are in for either of these Senate races across the whole state of Georgia. So right now, not a lot of votes are in, but throughout the night, throughout the rest of today, I think we'll continue to see a lot more votes be reported. But because of how close these two Senate races will be, it's going to be very close. I'm going to tell you this much. I think that no matter who wins these two Senate races, I think both Senate races are going to come within 2 to 3 percentage points of each other, if not even closer. So even if like the Republican loses or the Democrat loses in either one of these Senate races, I don't think they're gonna lose by like a large margin. It's definitely not gonna be like a landslide of any sorts. It's gonna be a pretty close race in both of these Senate races. I can say that with almost complete certainty. It's really close. Both political parties, both Republicans and Democrats, have put so much effort into campaigning for these two Senate races because these two Senate races essentially determine which political party will control the Senate for the next 2 years. Also, in the presidential election, we saw that not only do we see that Georgia is a very close state between Democrats and Republicans, we also saw that Democrats have the ability to win that state. Joe Biden, somehow, I honestly am pretty surprised, he was able to win the state of Georgia by around 11 to 12,000 votes. And that means that the senators, or the people running for Senate, John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock, they both have a great chance of winning the Senate race. In the case of John Ossoff, I think that David Perdue still has a better chance of winning, and I've said on this channel that Raphael Warnock I honestly think can pull this off, but both of the Democrats in these two Senate races, have a chance of pulling this off, even though Georgia has been historically a more conservative state that has more often voted for Republicans, at least in the past few decades. But we saw in the 2020 election, Georgia is no longer a strong Republican state. It's no longer a Republican stronghold. Georgia has the ability to vote for Democrats. Georgia has the ability to turn blue. They even voted for Joe Biden by a small margin, yes, but that's just how close the state is. That's my point. It's going to be a close match between the Democrats and the Republicans. I was originally planning for today's video to be about the results of these Senate runoff races, but like I said, almost none of the results are in yet, so I guess I'll leave that video to tomorrow or maybe even the day after that, either January 6th or January 7th. We'll have to see how fast the results come in. Like the election day, like the 2020 election, there's a lot of mail-in ballots because we're still in a pandemic. The COVID-19 pandemic is still going on. Not only is it still going on, it's worse than ever, at least in the United States. If you look at how many cases we're getting every day, look at how many deaths we get every day, we're basically hitting all-time highs for hospitalizations per day. I believe yesterday over 100,000 people were hospitalized across the country. So this pandemic is nowhere near over yet, and because of that, a lot of people will be voting by mail. And what that means is that it might take longer than usual, than in like a normal election, to count up all the votes because mail-in ballots usually take longer to count than in-person ballots. That's why on election day Donald Trump was winning, but when the mail-in votes started getting counted, Joe Biden was able to catch up to Trump. For whatever reason, mail-in ballots tend to lean more towards Democrats. That might be because Trump told his supporters not to vote by mail, but there's also many other reasons why that could be the case. Regardless, just keep on the lookout tonight for what happens with these two Senate races. It could honestly go either way. It could go for both seats win Democrats. It could be that both Democrats win those Senate seats. It could be that both Republicans win those Senate seats. It could be that John Ossoff wins his Senate race, but Kelly Loeffler also wins hers. It could also be that David Perdue wins his Senate race, but Raphael Warnock also wins his. Any of those four possibilities are definitely in the picture. None of those possibilities are unlikely in my opinion. The only unlikely scenario in my opinion is that either one of these Senate races end in a landslide. I think that whatever happens tonight and tomorrow both of these Senate races are going to be very close. Both the Ossoff Purdue race and the Loeffler Warnock race, they're going to be very close. And the losing candidate is not going to be far behind the winning candidate in both of these Senate races.